our focus this afternoon is going to be on the ecosystem, the blockchain ecosystem for Nigeria. And I have joining me right here in the studio, Oluchi Oko. Oluchi Oko is the head of operations of SWI Nigeria. Oluchi, you're welcome to the program. And she's not alone. She has Goodness KJ. Goodness KJ is the lead developer tutor of SWI Nigeria. You're welcome to the program. Okay, so, I mean, the issue of stablecoins especially seems to be filling the atmosphere, not just in Nigeria, in Africa. We've seen Kenya. They have a structured law now, you know, to direct it. When you look at adoption, blockchain and all the cryptocurrency with all the suspicion that goes around it, how would you rate adoption in Nigeria so far?
So I think the adoption rate in Nigeria is really, really high. It is fast, especially...
Do you have a percentage? Have you guys found a percentage?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But we see the adoption every day.
Right.
A lot of people are gaining adoption. They are learning about blockchain, the terminologies. We see it growing every day. And a lot of blockchains actually are gaining interest in Nigeria. SWI Blockchain, for example, recently established a hub here in Nigeria where they teach developers, creators, students, builders. They teach them every single day about blockchain, how to build, especially using the SWI blockchain technology.
But goodness, the skepticism, the distrust that surrounds digital currency and digital assets, can we deal with it?
Yeah, I think generally we can actually do with it. I think it's basically been a case of over the last 5 years, there's been this on and off thing with the government and their policies on cryptocurrencies in general. But I think it's becoming a whole lot more friendly due to the fact that there are now regulations going forward, right? And the government has also been trying to be more transparent about cryptocurrencies in general. So yeah, I think we can definitely do with it.
Yeah, but do you have this, I mean, can we target the rural communities, for instance? We have a major number of our population there. Can we include them in this conversation? A lot of people talk about, we want to talk about government policies now, you should do it in local dialects and all of that. Do we have something like that to bring in those who are not elites and in the urban cities?
Yeah, like Oluchi said, blockchain is actually very interested in Nigeria. And on the SWI front, we actually have like workshops all around the country with DeFi.
Do you do it in local dialects? You do it in local dialects? That's so interesting. So what's blockchain in a local dialect?
Yeah, so we have trained a lot of developers, and we have developers, especially in the north, that actually teach in Hausa.
How do you teach them, really? I'm curious.
It's basically, you know, simplifying the terms and translating it and sharing out the documents to them so that they can study and read up on their own. We also organize the workshop where they get to learn live.
That's interesting, really. And what has the response been like?
The response is amazing. A lot of people
because you tell them that they will make money, yeah? If they don't make that money, you're in trouble.
Yes, the money aspect is there, but I see that a lot of Nigerians actually want to grow. They want to develop themselves. And then we give them that platform. You know, education, knowledge is power. So we basically provide them with that knowledge. And then whatever it is they want to do with it, maybe make money, it becomes easier, right? When you have those skills, it becomes easier to actually apply yourself in the industry and make money.
So Goodness, what lessons can we learn? I talked about Kenya. They have their own, I mean, they just recently, I think it was last week, adjusted their law. You know, so now they don't charge transactions. They charge those who are using the platform. So it allows more people to use the platform to come on for transactions. What lessons can we learn as a country from our peers?
I think it's a classic case of now that we know that blockchains are going to be in the future, we actually now start from the grassroots to start teaching people about these things, right? So things like workshops and then generally every single application that blockchains are going to bring in, we can definitely start from the grassroots to start teaching that. Definitely, we've seen how blockchains are definitely going to be part of the future with even platforms like Flutterwave, which is the Nigerian brand, adopting cryptocurrencies, right? So generally, it's a case of we need to take other countries going to the grassroots and then bring it to our own side and do the same thing so that in, say, 5 years, 10 years, people actually conversant with cryptocurrencies and blockchains in their everyday life.
Oluchi, are there specific lessons we can learn, perhaps from their laws? Ghana, I know they are also doing good.
So one of the most important lessons is collaboration. I feel like you cannot grow on your own and you cannot do it on your own. A lot of these countries and blockchains need to collaborate. They need to spread awareness. They need to teach. They need to educate so that everyone is aware. When you know what it is that you are doing, when you have the knowledge, it is easier to scale, and regulations can come in place when all parties understand what blockchain, the future that blockchain shows to everyone. Like, there is a wealth of possibilities with blockchains.
So we've had governments and government agencies talk about digital assets, the recognition of it, but would you say we're doing enough for our stage?
In my opinion, I don't think we're doing enough. I think everyone needs to wake up to the possibilities that all of these present, and actually look for ways and laws and regulations that help to, you know, promote this. A lot of people are scared because they feel like, oh, the regulations are going to come, the law is going to come for them, oh, this is illegal. And so I feel like when we have these clear rules stated, it will help make things easier.
What about you? Is there any law you think that perhaps could accelerate things, build more trust? Because trust is a major one. A lot of times we hear of the news of fraud that's been carried out on the blockchain and all of that. So it puts a lot of fear in people's mind. Of course, anything that's new will always, you know. So is there any law or step you think the regulators can embrace at this time?
Yeah, I think the country needs a very, very clear law once again. And this time around, we saw the tax system on cryptocurrencies, but if you could also get something for regulations and regulating even offshore bodies that come into this country to do things around blockchains, that would be very, very cool. So it should be clearly stipulated on how they should actually operate. We've seen that most blockchains actually operate with foundations and then step into the country. So it's actually very,
What do you mean they operate with foundations?
Like more so, they use like an NGO type of system, non-profit foundations to enter countries and then teach. So like it would be very cool if they had exact measures and exact things that you're supposed to do and then not do, so that it's easier for them to actually operate in the country and help people in this country step forward.
And I hear small businesses are actually embracing stablecoin. Have you had any transaction or heard of it or seen?
Yes, of course. So like I mentioned earlier, we have the SWE Hub here in Lagos, Nigeria, where we teach people. So we actually, you know, utilize funds in keeping the hub running. So we do have agencies and small business that we interact with that require...
And they use stablecoins for their transactions?
We pay them in USDC. So I feel like with the education and the blockchain wave coming in, I feel like a lot more small businesses will be open to the idea of using stablecoins.
What do you see, goodness, say in the next 5 years, following this trend, blockchain and all the digital asset conversations?
Yeah, so we saw the CBDCs that came out from Nigeria, and we also seen like some local stablecoins coming up, CNG and the rest.
E-Naira hasn't moved though.
Yeah, so I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so, please go ahead.
So generally, if the future is going to be fully digital, I think there's going to be a point where the Nigerian Naira actually has a very, very robust stablecoin that people use daily across all different blockchains, right?
What's the possibility of having a stablecoin to the Naira? Because that's also one conversation that seems to be taken up.
Yeah, I think it's something that we definitely have to do. We've seen the US actually create a framework for stablecoins, and the thing about stablecoins is how fast they accelerate transactions. And so I think Nigeria is definitely going to catch up to that and then help people to do transactions better.
All right, thank you so much, gentleman and lady, for coming on the program today. Oluchi Oko, Head of Operations, SWE Nigeria, and Goodness Ukeje, Lead Developer Tutor, SWE Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you.